Out in the Wonderland today, what I'm going to focus on is deadheading, a little bit of shaping. This guy has gotten way bigger than he needs to be and is blocking out that espaliered peach tree there, so I'm gonna do that. Lots and lots of deadheading. Gonna pull some of these big weeds, especially ones that are here in the beds. But yeah, look at all this deadheading to do. Deadheading, deadheading. Oh look, hey, this peach tree actually has a couple of peaches. Oh, I'm so glad we'll get a couple. Look at that. Oh, that makes me happy. Okay. Oh, that's wonderful. That's good. That's good because the other ones, yeah, I'm going to try to work on getting rid of all these cherry tree starts. We'll see if we get to that, but it's not the priority today, but it is a priority this week. Mainly though, gonna focus on deadheading and trimming all of these box hedges, try and get them into some semblance of order, and then pull all of these big weeds and these raspberry starts, get them out of the way so they don't get any bigger or any worse. Yeah, it's gonna look a lot different, my friends, once all the deadheading is done. Here's something fun I want to show you. Look at my grape arch. Isn't it gorgeous? This is actually, it's built on, if you've been with us a while, you'll know this already, but it is a swing. It was like a covered swing that I had bought for my dad, rest in peace, years and years ago. I was about 19 or 20 when I bought it for him, and we had years and years of use of it. And then after he passed away and my mom was getting ready to sell the house, she asked if I wanted to come and get it, and I said absolutely. It was in pretty rough shape, having been outside for, you know, years and years, but I said, well, I'll find a use for it, and it has worked beautifully as my grape arch. That is another thing on the list. I will be picking grapes. Gonna try my darndest to make some wine. Ellie, I can absolutely use some tips and hints from you. They have grown clear over on the other side into the apartments next door, so I'm going to go over and pick from there as well and do a little bit of trimming up, especially on the younger grapes. I'm going to trim a whole bunch so that we can try to get bigger grapes rather than just more grapes. Gonna work on that. One of the things I'm absolutely committing to doing this fall is finishing this right here. Number one, finishing the rock path, but also digging this out. You have to duck getting under the grape arch, and I did do some digging on it a few years ago, but never did get around to finishing it. So I'm gonna dig this down about a foot. Well, maybe not quite a foot, because then I'd have to put in a stair. We'll see what I do. And then I'm going to get some stones, hopefully finally finish the, what do you call it, mosaic stones that I wanted to do, and have like a little bench or something on the side, and this can be a little seating area here under this fabulous grape arch. Anyway, going to get started. This is my daddy's rose bush. Some of you will remember that I went and dug it up from my parents' yard before my mom sold the house. It is in just deplorable condition right here. There's no excuse for this nonsense. That needs to be cleaned up. Oh, there's so much to do, you guys. My maple trees need to be trimmed and shaped. This is just atrocious. One of the things I'm going to do is just soak this, just completely soak it, probably tomorrow night, which would be Sunday night, so that Monday morning I can come out here and just clean this, just completely clean this. There's flagstones, you can't even see them, and it's just in bad shape. It's in really rough shape. My white roses died. It's just not good. This is just not good. So gonna soak it Sunday night and then come out Monday morning and completely clean that up. Here is just kind of an overview of how things are looking so that we will have something to compare to when I am done. Well, done for today, anyway. I'm doing a really hard chop on all of these perennials. This is good, that way the ground cover that we've got here can get some sun and start doing its thing. And also, it lays bare all of these horrible weeds so that I can start pulling those out and clearing this space. Almost done with this one little section. Just got to finish right here. Whew. A little bit here, a little bit there. One section down. Only a bazillion more to go. I am using this tote that, of course, was salvaged from the dumpsters. and I will chop up all of this foliage and put it in my mulch. A little more progress. Lots more progress. Need to get all of this that I have pulled and chopped out of here. Whew. I know that juniper looks a little funny right now, but I promise as I continue shaping it, it will thicken there in the actual body of it, and it'll make a really fun little piece, kind of focal point right there. Yes, I did plant it way too close to the fence and that peach tree, but again, live and learn. Over here, I did serious chopping, which desperately needed to be done. Also, deadheaded the rose bush. The rose bush needs to be shaped, but where it's got blooms right now, I'm not going to do that. We'll do that later in the fall. I'm going to finish all this weeding out here maybe tomorrow or the next day, not today, and then I will be able to go ahead and put down some topsoil for this and manure and whatever else. This creepy, what is it called? Creeping Jenny, or one of them anyway. It's great ground cover and helpful with a lot of different kinds of weeds. It's not helpful when it comes to like morning glory. That goes right all through it. The problem with the creeping stuff is that it is a thug through and through. So, and the thing is, once it has established itself, I mean, it's almost impossible to get rid of it. I've never been able to completely eradicate it from an area, and I honestly don't want to eradicate it from here, but it does need to be brought under control because other plants are suffering because of it. So that's going to happen this week. I deadheaded or pulled down all those irises, but I'm also going to chop down the leaves because there are some other plants over there that desperately need access to the sun. So, frugal friends, if you've watched our channel, for any of our channels for any amount of time, you will know that, well, this just really won't come as a shock, but one of my biggest weaknesses when it comes to gardening, almost any project really, but especially gardening, especially as the day wears on and it starts to heat up, I start working faster and faster and faster and sloppier and more recklessly because I'm trying to get stuff done, you know, and that is how I get hurt. That is how, a few months ago, I severely twisted my ankle, was not paying attention to what I was doing while I was chopping down a tree. And so today, and throughout the rest of this gardening season, I am reminding myself constantly, sit down, drink some water, chill out, look at what you're doing, pay attention to what you're doing, take breaks. You don't need to get it all done today, so there's no need to hurry like a maniac. Working on it. Reason number 85 to wear gloves when gardening. Holy cow. I trimmed up my espalier peach tree, and it actually has a couple of peaches on it, so that's super exciting. I need to fix the trellis, get it stabilized better, get it straight up, and then put in some other supports to continue with the espalier process with my peach tree. But so far it's doing all right, and this is why it's okay to have this juniper, as long as I keep it tight, right here by the peach tree, because the peach tree, the idea is for it to run along the fence and to be flat. Oh. I got a little bit on this border done, which highlights the fact that these box hedges are totally cattywampus. They're all like at an angle rather than straight, which I've decided I'm going to just have to deal with. Either this fall I'm going to have to do the work and dig them up and replant them in the straight line, or I'm going to have to reconfigure things to have a really weird kind of pathway here. It just makes more sense to go ahead, trim them down, which is unfortunate. We'll lose a lot of growth in the process, but trim them down and plant them properly. They will eventually catch up. Whew. And I might just trim all of them way, way down anyway, so that they start tightening up and filling in to make, you know, more of a hedge. I am not going to bother with any of this mess that I have pulled out or chopped down. I'm not dealing with that today. That will wait. I have a situation over here with this my other maple tree, the top half died. Luckily, it had plenty of growth on the bottom, so I've chopped the top half about halfway down. I'm gonna have to bring out a bigger, like a little saw or something, and saw the rest of it. And I did go ahead and chop this extra growth down by about a third. And I'm just gonna have to really, take this in hand and tend this thing in order to get it to fill in and do what I want it to. Is it planted too close to the grape thing? Yep, it absolutely is. So I've got to work harder at training the grapes to go that way rather than where this maple tree is. Or I have to move the maple tree so that I can have the grapes coming out this way. I will decide this fall which I prefer to do. Honestly, as much of a pain as it would be, I really kind of want to just have the grapes come out along here so they create kind of a wall. I don't know where I will move the maple tree to, but I'm sure we can figure something out. Planning in the beginning and researching the plants that you're planting will save you a lot of work in the long term. You know me, learning as I go. I am going to go ahead and clean up this mess right here, get all of that out of here, and finish chopping down all the foliage from the irises. And then I do believe I'm going to call it for this morning and go take a nice long break and have a really cold drink. There you go. Now the other plants that are over there will have a chance to actually do their thing. I also, of course, need to get all this horrible dead grass out of here, but I am listening to my body, and my body says that's enough for now. Not bad, I would say, for a morning's labors. I'm pretty proud. I'm definitely happy with what I was able to accomplish this morning. I am absolutely going to have to invest in an electric hedge trimmer. With the arthritis in my hands, doing all of it with just these shears, no. It will take forever, and then my hands will be out of commission for at least a few days. Also, trying to get it even is incredibly difficult doing it this way, so that is definitely next on the list. An electric hedge trimmer. I still have a long ways to go, and that's just the rough chop. And then, of course, coming back and trying my best to make them fairly level. We'll see. But this will be the last time that I do them manually. And there's no way I'm going to finish this today. It's hot. And my hands are saying, nope. I've got Mimi and Reagan, I can't even talk, my fabulous helpers out here cleaning up, helping me with the stuff that I have chopped off. I keep thinking, Julie, you need to lay down a tarp or something when you're doing this. That way all of the clippings will just fall onto the tarp and you can just pick that up. But this kind of is reminiscent of as a child when I had to go and pick up walnuts. And that was a really good character building exercise that I hated with a passion. Hopefully that's what these guys, they'll be getting that character building. Frugal friends, thank you so much for joining me on this morning's gardening adventure. If you have useful tips, tricks, things from your own experience that you happen to know are worthwhile, please go ahead and leave those in the comments below. Thank you so much for coming along, and be sure to subscribe for more of our Frugal Family and our neighbors traveling, gardening, and frugal living related videos. We'll see you all real soon. Definitely gonna wear gloves next time. I've got a blister right there below my finger, my ring. I've got one right here on this ring finger, and then of course there was the one on my thumb that formed and burst all while I was using the shears. And that's not to mention all of the little cuts and scrapes. Yeah, look at that, that looks horrible. I'm just the kind that doesn't like to wear gloves, but I really need to. Is this going to be one of those lessons that I have to learn over and over again? Well, it already has been.